Welcome, brave listeners, to Spooky Kids World, where the stories you hear might just keep you up at night.
Tonight, we're going to tell you a tale you won't soon forget. It's called The Last Bell After Midnight. Tonight, we're going to tell you a tale you won't soon forget. It's called The Last Bell After Midnight. Imagine your school, but not as you know it. It's long after everyone has gone home. The moon casts long, eerie shadows across the empty basketball courts, and a cold wind whispers through the silent playground. Inside, the only sound is the low hum of the old refrigerator in the teacher's lounge.
The hallways are dark, lined with rows and rows of silent lockers. It's a place of quiet, a place of stillness.
Until it isn't. In the main hallway, right above the principal's office, hangs an old forgotten school bell. It's covered in dust and rust, its brass surface tarnished by time. The wires connecting it to the school's clock system were cut years ago. It's a relic, a silent monument to a bygone era.
Everyone knows it's broken. It hasn't rung in decades.
It should never ring again.
But one night, a child named Leo was awake in his bed long after he should have been asleep.
His house was right across the street from the school, his window facing the dark building. He was reading a comic book under the covers with a flashlight when he heard it. A faint, distant sound. Dong, just once.
He looked at his clock. The bright red numbers glowed. 12:01 a.m. Midnight had just passed.
He dismissed it as his imagination and tried to go back to his comic. But a strange feeling of unease crept over him. Back in the school, the single chime echoed and died, leaving an even deeper silence in its wake.
Then another sound began. A soft, shuffling noise.
Tap, tap, tap. It sounded like footsteps,
Slow and deliberate, coming from the far end of the lonely hallway.
As the footsteps shuffled closer, the lockers began to tremble.
First, a gentle rattling, then a louder shaking, as if someone was running a hand down the cold metal doors.
The sound grew, a symphony of metallic clatter in the dead of night.
Leo, still watching from his window, saw a flicker of movement inside the school. He squinted, trying to make out what it was. A shadow detached itself from the deeper darkness of the hallway.
It was tall and thin, a distorted human shape, and it stopped right in front of a classroom door, its form barely visible in the faint moonlight filtering through the high windows.
It just stood there, motionless, a silent sentinel in the abandoned corridor. Suddenly, the bell rang again.
Dong! This time, it was louder, sharper, as if it was right outside Leo's window, not across the street. The sound seemed to vibrate in his very bones. The shadow at the classroom door twitched, its head slowly turning as if looking for something or someone.
Leo's heart pounded in his chest. He couldn't look away.
Legend says, this shadow belongs to a student from long ago. A student who loved school so much, they never wanted to leave. Day after day, they were the first to arrive and the last to go home, always lingering after the final bell. One evening, they stayed too late, falling asleep in an empty classroom, and were accidentally locked inside for a long weekend. When the doors were finally opened, the student was gone, vanished. All that remained was an open book on a desk. Now, their spirit is trapped, forever wandering the empty halls, eternally bound to the school day that never ends. The spirit only appears on nights when a child stays awake past midnight, drawn by the light of a late-night reader or a flickering screen. It thinks the child is another student staying up too late, and it comes to guide them to class. The bell rings one final time. Dong. The loudest yet. It echoes through the empty school, a final, chilling summons.
Then,
As quickly as it started, everything stops. The footsteps cease. The lockers fall silent. The shadow disappears from the doorway, melting back into the darkness from which it came. Silence reigns once more. The first rays of sunlight creep over the horizon.
Morning comes.
The school slowly comes to life as teachers and students arrive. The hallways fill with chatter and laughter. The memory of the night's terrors washed away by the bright light of day. Everything seems perfectly normal, except for one thing. In one of the classrooms, a teacher calls roll. Every name is answered except for one.
A single desk at the back of the room sits empty.
The student who sat there yesterday is gone. Their books are still neatly stacked. Their pencil case sits by their chair, but they are nowhere to be found. They never came back to school again. It was as if they had simply vanished. So, here's a word of warning from all of us at Spooky Kids World. When nighttime comes and you're told to go to bed, listen. Turn off your lights, close your eyes, and go to sleep. Because if you stay awake past the witching hour, you might just hear the last bell after midnight. And you might become the next student who never leaves school. Thanks for listening to our spooky tale. If you enjoyed being terrified, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more scary stories, and comment below with what you think happened to the missing student. Until next time, sleep tight, if you can.